Hello everybody, this is Salah again. We are going over the occlusal analysis form. We will fill it together, show you how I do it. Occlusal analysis start since you see the patient. So you have to, as the paper say, initial tooth contact and centric occlusion. Those need to be assessed in the patient mouth before you start your mounting or taking alginate impressions. And for this part, the first part, you have to use two colors, clinical contact in red and the mounted cast contact in blue. So ideally in the clinic, your patient will be there. Our patient is Smith, so we are using the typodont as our patient. So here's my patient. So clinically, I will find any contact that catch shim stock and mark it here. Then in the lab, I will try to find those contacts and mark them in blue. So let's start. The typodont is here, I have shim stock. I'm gonna try to see what teeth are holding. So from this side, so number 1 is holding, number 2 is holding as well. This is not catching, front teeth as well not catching, neither here. Yep, number 12 is catching, 13, light, 14 is heavy, and that as well. So so in red I'm gonna mark 1 was catching heavy. As well on the other side I found number 12 was holding shim stock as well, 13 and 14. So I write those in the clinic. Then I proceed normally with my alginate impressions, my face paw record, my protrusive record, and I decided based on the clinical situation this case could be treated using hand articulation or maximum intercuspation record. I have a lot of cases like that's easy to mount the case using only maximum intercuspation record, like similar to this patient. So you can see this patient, we have enough vertical stops to mount the case by hand. So this is ready to be mounted. There is no need to have maximum intercuspation record to treat this patient. But other cases, like those cases, patients are missing a lot of teeth. So there is no way you can put those together. You see that the casts are not stable, they are rocking. We are missing a lot of teeth. In this case, I have to make a record base on take centric relation record to mount the teeth in centric relation on the articulator. So again, we are teaching fixed partial denture, I know, but a lot of patients, they cannot afford fixed partial dentures or dental implants. They go with the partials, and this is the partial framework, how it looks. This patient will receive teeth later on after we try the framework. Again, some patients as well like that, even though they have all of their dentition, they don't come together. Like if you see, the teeth are apart on many sides, so that patient need to be treated in centric relation as well. So it's away from our topic. Let's go back to our occlusal analysis form. It's just more information for you guys. So I'm I decided there is no displacement between centric occlusion and maximum intercuspation, so there is no displacement. Now I mounted the case. Here's my articulator mounted. I raise the pin and I will check the contacts. This is not holding, holding, a little bit of hold, holding. So we have those three teeth are holding. Let's do the other side. Oh, sorry. This one is holding. This one is light. This one is light. I think this is holding as well. Up here it's holding. So in maximum intercuspation, this was holding. On the three teeth on the other side were holding. Wow, we have a good match. So my mounting is very accurate because in the patient, the teeth that are holding shim stock are the same teeth that holding shim stock in my mounting. So I'm happy and confident this is accurate mounting. So I'll move to the next step. This is for clinical usage. Just jump to the next line. Horizontal overlap. I'm trying to measure the overjet and the overbite of the anterior teeth. So basically you use the ruler. I trim my ruler to the 0 as you can see it here. So I measure, this is almost 3 millimeter horizontal overlap. To measure the vertical overlap, I mark the incisors, and this will show me the vertical overlap of anterior teeth. 2 millimeter, which is a decent overlap. Is there any displacement? No, because maximum centric relation and maximum intercuspation is the same position, so we skip any shift. Now we're going to check the contacts in dynamic movement. All of this is dynamic contacts, and this part was a static contact. Any restoration on an interim, you have to check the contacts in static position as well in dynamic position. So let's look at the description here. So we need to find the contacts on laterotrusive movement, which is the working contacts. We need to find the contacts on mediotrusive movement and find any non-working contacts on that side. Lastly, we're going to check the protrusive contact on our articulator. You can do this in the patient mouth, but sometimes it's difficult to accomplish because of the fact you have the cheek in the way, and this is why we take records of the patient and see them on the articulator, so you can visualize the teeth movement from all angles without the cheeks and the lips in the way. So before we start checking the dynamic contact, a little bit about mounting. I'm gonna take this out. So when you mounted your cast, I ask you guys to change the condylar guidance angle to 25. This is how you change it from this screw, and you can set it 25 on both sides.